screen, right? We're good. Okay.
Got it.
All right, so we are now recording, so other people could go ahead and watch us. So let's just check a look at what we've seen so far so you can get an idea. I need you to get comfortable, and as I mentioned, you, John, for sure, no matter, you know, Heidi and anyone else that we get to look at this, you want to be able to look at some of the basic things on there. So here's your Stealth account, okay? You know, as you know, adding the webinar content, we don't need to go through again. If I look at your event list, this is the one that you can play with or anyone you can see. I'm going to delete this as soon as Heidi's done watching. Here are our 2 webinars. This is the big one that we had, okay? So you can see everything fine on the screen, by the way? It's moving quickly?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, by the way, the video recording, I have it on lower quality, faster speed, so if we'll use this for any recording of future webinars, we would change that to, you know, just so the recording looks awesome. But anyway, what I've done is I unfortunately hear this music in my thing because I've added these video, so I got to mute that here. I've added video calls to action. Where the hell are you? Why are you? Hang on. Oh. Son of a gun. Hold on. I can't hear you.
You gotta take
Hold
off,
on, I hear you. There
music.
we go. You heard that music?
No, I didn't know.
All right. So anyway, in your countdown page, I embedded your RPM thing in there just as an aside. I showed you that. So anytime anyone's waiting, they're just going to be hearing about this, and I did it on both. You could add any videos or change it or whatever it is. But so we've gone through all of these things. Since you're recording this, I'm going to just show you things you need to know for the future. Again, in the event that you and I partner on it, then I can do all this stuff. But if you're going to have someone else do it, on the webinar options, if you notice, we added it so that people can both chat, and that will replay constantly. So over time, it'll look like there's just hundreds of people chatting. But did you get any questions in the last webinar? Did anyone click on that box and ask you a question?
Oh, yeah.
Normally
I got like 14 questions. Yeah.
Good. They came to your inbox. Right. They came to, it said online meeting now question to John, right?
Yeah, and it actually came to Gmail is what it came
exactly,
to.
Exactly. That's what I have it
I
set up
answered
for. And yeah, I have that set up right down here. Here's the, it goes to RPM. That's where the Q&A.
Perfect.
So their problem is they didn't allow chat and Q&A. It was one or the other. So I put in a feature request that they do both, but they helped me write code. They wrote it, actually. I told them what I wanted to do. So what we do is we actually have the chat replay as a default, which is a great feature. I love it. And then we put in this code for the box. So the only thing you'll need to do, and that's why, again, you can watch this video again later or just know whoever's going to do it to take a look at this, is when I go into that place, here is the actual code for the box that allows a question to be asked too. Again, it's not going to happen with chat in there. And you're going to see it has the webinar ID on it right here. This is what we need to change for the Q&A box. This is your webinar ID for the millionaire, and you can always tell us. So this has to be changed. You can literally take this exact code, copy it, and paste it in your new webinar when you clone it. But they have to change this ID, right? So you're going to see this one is like 88BE. You get to see that in lots of places. You can see it right on top here. You can see it on any of your links, right? See where I'm going at the top? That's your webinar ID. But it's also on any of the links for the replays, for your registering. They're all there. So I had no need for me to show you. If I were to go into your millionaire one, you'll just see that I've changed that number with the right code. That way the Q&A box will work. That's very important, the Q&A box, because those are, file all those as you get them. If they become leads or do whatever, set something up on your email, because these are active people when they're asking questions. They're always your best potential buyers, your leads. And even though they might opt up or not sign in, you'll want to follow up with all of those. So you got 14 out of 60. Probably it was, you know, maybe 8 or 9 people that asked a bunch of questions. But these were always the ones that would convert to me into sales, which is why I told Stealth they got to add this, and they were willing to work on the code for me because they're going to add it to future release. Okay? I have them go to this page at the end of the webinar, but again, we could change that stuff later. So I have that chat replay going, and so basically, the only thing that's new is we added the plugin, and this is all that it is now that it's all set up, is this just says when people log in, they go to these specific lists in Aweber that I set up that I'll show you. And I didn't set up one for each, but we'll know when someone attended the webinar. We'll know when they finished it. We'll know if they logged in and missed it. And these were some critical calls to action, like, hey, I at least, and you'll see in the other one. And I chose these, for example, let's look at call to action 6. If I look at call to action 6, I pulled these up here, and your 6th call to action was at a nice time, downloading recruiting as a science. So I know they were on for at least, about a half hour. So that's going to give you an idea. We'll know, I wanted to get people on before here so we know they missed your free hour of coaching. Okay, and I can easily change this form, the HTML code in there. So the only other thing that someone needs to know when you're cloning or copying the webinar, because you can literally just copy this except for that question box. And the other thing is, if you remember, I changed your registration page to look really good. So if we go ahead and look at your registration page, okay, I changed it here so it shows your next one, but it gives people a lot of options, which is great because you saw a lot of people waited a week. And the reason we wanted to do that is, so that we don't lose anyone that looks at it and goes, it's awesome, or without putting a specific time. Because once they say, well, I'm on vacation next week, they delete your email. Now, well, we say it's upcoming with a bunch of times, they're going to click on it. All right, so, and this stuff, they had to work with me on special code too, because we either use their forms or we use Aweber, and they were good enough to integrate it, so we use Aweber. Again, they're really amazing. I told them they got a client for life with me on what they did with me. And it helps me with mine too, because I'm using the same code for my stuff. But so the only other thing you need to change, John, is you got to tell it. They can copy the code. It's in the registration page. All right, and this is all very easy to use. We're not on the registration page. Here it is. All right, so the registration page son of a bitch, it's playing your thing again, so you can't hear me. Let me stop that video. Hold on. That video keeps playing. Probably going to do it again, so I might not be able to hear you, but I'll just talk anyway. On the registration page, only thing you need to change is the list name, which is right here up top. All this other code can be copied and you'll have a generic box, but this is going to tell Aweber. The name of the list you'll see in Aweber is Webinar Shared RI, right? And if I go to Aweber, right, we'll see we have all of your lists, right? And I explain what they all are and stuff, but that's what it's called. That's the exact word. All right, it's called. This is the main one. Webinar Shared Risk. Okay? And the Webinar Millionaire is called Webinar Millionaire. This one, Webinar Million A, right? So if we actually go on Stealth, you'll see all I did here in the registration page. If we go to your events, for Millionaire, is you'll see under the registration page, okay, you're going to see I simply changed the code here to go to the Webinar Millionaire list, right? Right there. All right, shit, it's playing that friggin'. All right, I'm going to stop this video again. All right, and you'll also see here and we're now, it changes the code here. This one now is 9C5 and it ends in 708A. Right, we're in Millionaire Recruiters, right? And just what I was showing, I just had to change the code in the Q&A box. Again, because we have special code added to this stuff to get some cool features. So you could see, I always got to look around where it is, but it's on here somewhere. It'll be the webinar ID code. Where the hell did it go? See it here? It's on here. It's not a lot of space for it. It's the only place right here. Right? I just have to change that number before the ampersand, which is this number right here. Okay? So those are the two things for Stealth. So that's all Stealth's going to do, and we could change things and whatever. And I'm not going to go through the rest of the settings here, but what we do want to look at is your chat manager. That's what I was saying. You're going to want to look at that pretty regularly, because on Chat Replay, like I said, the way it works is it'll look live to those people no matter what the time is. So those that are watching it at 9 a.m., if someone on your noon call asks something at 12:10, for the 9 a.m. people, it's going to look like that person's asking at 9:10. So here's Chat Manager. Here's all the people that had asked questions. Okay? So actually, I sent you a screenshot of this the other day. We got some new ones here. Okay? So Wayne asked all these questions on the last one. And so did that other woman, but it was email me stuff, and I don't want that showing up for the future one. So you get to approve what's going to show up on all these future things. So I gave you Pat's stuff so you can email her. But what you can do here is so we can reply, okay? So let's look at this one. This one came in at 18 minutes and 41 seconds into it. So don't you just think HR just want resumes? What do you want me to, let's reply to that, and we'll call it host, okay? So yeah, I can hit on that. We can approve all these stuff. Are you a
fucking idiot? Yes, I'm just joking. But,
so, again, you would just go in here.
You're going to want to delete it.
You want to delete it, don't you? You want to delete it, don't you think they just want resumes? You don't want to reply to it?
So we can...
Good question.
We can reply right online right here. I got it.
You can't reply to Zoran, okay? Because no one answered it live because you're on the call or whatever it was. But you can go through these things at the end of them and then email them back saying, or you can go ahead and, just hit a reply now. So we add reply here. We've clicked that we're a host, and I just put 1841, or we could put 1842 if we wanted to do it. But here, so we can add reply, and just tell me something you want me to type here, just as an example. All right, I'll just do this. Sample reply. Okay, here, let me just submit reply, okay? All right, so, there was an error. Why? Host. Oh, I don't think, because we didn't, this one is approved. 1841. Host. Sample reply. There we go, okay? So you'll show up here with whatever. I'm sorry?
I got it.
So this is what will show up on the next replay. So I'm going to delete this one, okay? Because I don't want people seeing sample reply that are on this call. But you can delete anything that's crap in here or stupid or, gives their own email address or things like that. But it's nice. So in the future, when you reply, it'll look like a host is replying to their answers, or whatever. You can, okay? So you can go through all these and answer them. Just, you pick the time. But again, so you can add it and you just tell it the exact time you want to reply. Right? And it'll come in, if you put that time, it'll come in right below it. So I put 2412 and then it'll look like you replied right to them, or you can make it a minute later if it's a long reply. Hang on one second. Hello, I'm on a conference call. Is this urgent? Oh, hi, sweetie. I can't talk now. Could I call you later, bubby? Okay, I love you. Sorry.
No problem.
Make a note to call my kid. See if there's any here you want to delete, or you just come back to it. I got it from the chat manager on here, but these are not approved, right? I could batch approve all them. I approved, this one is approved because we replied, so it's automatically going to approve. I'll take an hour. That one came through, so. Right, so again, these are things you want to decide what you want to do. I'll take an hour. Do you want that on there? I think we can delete it. Did he sign up? Do you remember getting one from him?
Yes, he did. He signed up.
All right, so good. So let's just delete it. But you can make it is still good to reply. You could see when that came in, and you could say take an hour. You could put in whatever. Listen, it's already sold out, but email me. We'll work something out. Or if anyone wasn't able to do it, contact me. Or contact John and we'll see what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want it to look good, and ultimately this will have hundreds and hundreds of things that are going to scroll through, hundreds of people on it, okay? So this is the chat manager. You can delete them or you can approve it, okay? Batch approve one at a time, whatever, right? Okay?
Got it. Know how to do it.
Now, again, these are all reasonable questions, so I can just approve them. All right, so we'll batch approve them, but they don't have any answers to them. But again, so when the next people watch them, we're good. This just means there's a reply there. I forgot, I did actually approve them before. Okay? And this is if you want
So I
to.
can reply to them fairly easily. I got how to do it, and then if I want to take them out, just simply hit the X.
If you want, you can delete a comment, or if you want to, if this user keeps adding stupid stuff, you can just ban user to delete all of them. It's right here. Okay. All right. So that's what you're going to want to look at. I doubt we have anything on Millionaire because we've just. Oh, let me just finish with this one. Let's go back to our thing here. This has got some good built-in analytics, some basic stuff. I mean, this is, I told you what all these buttons do before. That's how you can preview it here, so you can look at the countdown page, which, as an aside, it's going to play your video. You're not going to hear it now, but, it's going to just auto-load your, your RPM video right there. All the music's playing and everything, so I just paused that because it's annoying. You got all those sort of things. Here's the chat manager. Okay. And
where are we scheduled to play this over and over and over again? I mean, now we got Monday and Tuesday.
If you
How
forget,
do we schedule to do more?
It always reschedules. I have it. I did it under scheduling, so it's scheduled right now for every Monday and Tuesday, and I'm having going ongoing. That's the whole point to it.
Perfect. And then the email strategy that's ongoing too, right? That same list.
Hold on, I got your silly thing again. It's playing. I'm sorry, the email chat. The email chat's gonna be ongoing too, and it'll always add to it. That's what's a chat replay. Yeah. So if you reply to it even now offline, next time someone comes in, it'll look like it's gonna happen at the exact right time in the webinar, no matter what time we ever change it to or whatever. It just knows 41 minutes into the webinar. So if you play this thing at 3 a.m., at 3:18 and 20 seconds, that person's going to ask that question, and you're going to reply.
Okay, but then AWeber is hooked up to this, so automatically there's mass emails going out every single week.
Yeah, we'll go through all that too. But listen, if you want to get creative and fun with this, you can add in Chat Manager, you can make up a name and ask questions that are very self-serving. Like, dude, John, how many people really use RPM? And you can reply in, listen, John's hosting the call or whatever, but there's already hundreds of people that are using it, and less than 1% of people have canceled after they do it, right? I mean, so that's why it's saying if you go back into chat, and that's what's great about Chat Manager. It's like a commercial. It'll look good. Ultimately, it's going to populate with real good questions and answers that people have besides when they email you. But if you don't click this host button, it won't show you as a host. You could put in any friggin' name you want. You know what I mean? And ask any question you want. So, John, tell me about how many people actually end up continuing it. Is it really that good? Or, how many clients you have, or how long have you been doing this? Or, will it integrate with my system, right? So this is good marketing stuff you're going to want to play with since you're driving people to this webinar, okay? So, and what I was saying on the Millionaire one is, we just had a couple people sign up there. So if we look at the Chat Manager here, I doubt, I don't have any yet. Okay.
Yeah, but we have.
So
I think we got a ton of people signed up for this thing.
Yeah, but it's just starting on Thursday and Friday.
So it's
right?
Okay, got it. We're not going to have anything yet because it's not played.
Correct. And they just started, and even though they got this email over the weekend or whatever, the first one's not going to happen until Thursday. Right. Okay. And your webinars always need to be on different dates and times, or else they're going to know it's recorded. Like if they get an email from you, how the hell is John doing this for me? This one also at Thursday, right? So, and we could just simply change the times. It's fine. But so they got some good reporting in here. So I'll just show you basically how to use it. View the stats. It's basic. We need the AWeber for it, but this will give them, because of your plugin, this will show you and you're going to say, why so few? It's based upon a date. So we can just look at any date we want. Let's just say January 1st until, today, right? Change the dates, and we click here. So out of all the people, here's what we've had. We had 207 people who viewed the countdown, which means they registered because it does take them to the countdown page. 107 people, and we'll look at the AWeber stats, but so far 107 people watched the webinar, and we're also going to know that now into AWeber because of your plugin. I don't get this. Meaning I don't have this on mine, but you do. So all these are going there anyway. But so this will give you a good idea of just who stayed on for what, and these are actually stats on who clicked on different links, right? So it's pretty cool.
Loving it.
So you can get an
Very
idea if you
cool.
need to change the marketing or whatever it is. All right, this will show you, here's, the 10-minute blocks we could have of viewership. We could change whatever we want based upon the dates, right? Here's all the people that gave you emails, but we're capturing yours.
Gotcha.
Okay, anyway, through Aweber. But if we were just using their form, that's what we would use. So that's got some good stuff. So that's it with Stealth. And going to Aweber, well, everyone signs up for your ebook. So we've got 533 subscribers now for the ebook. We've taken them to automatically to be added to this list. And notice how much bigger this one got. That's because we weren't just sending people for your ebook. We used your big list on that Crux email, the India company, and we drove people directly to your webinar. So we had several hundred people that just actually went straight to the webinar. Sorry about that. That went straight to your webinar and were automatically added on to performance coaching. Right, from that automation tools. Okay, so if we look down, these are all your main lists and stuff. But so we've got 723 people there, 533 on your ebook, right? And again, I'm just scrolling so you can see everything. And so your main two webinars are Webinar Millionaire. And don't be scared that there's 77. It doesn't mean that 77 signed up. Right, that originally it would have had a ton, but 77 signed up for this one so far. Shared risk, right. So we had 77, but again, that's meant by design. These are only the original people. They're getting it 2 weeks later, which I'll show you. These people, we had 114 that are active and 93 that unsubscribe, because the way that I work it using the Aweber plugin is, right, if you remember under Aweber, we had all of these, let's just go back to your event here. And if we go back to this plugin, I created all these automations. Not here, right? So these are all your calls to action. All right, my screen's blank too, so hold on. All right. Oh, that thing's playing again. I got to go off this page. But on the marketing automation, as soon as they reach any of these milestones, they get added to these different lists. So they start at webinar at 10. So I got to get off of this page because I'm hearing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me just refresh it and all. So so the way that I have it set up, and again, you can play with this down the road because, like I said, it's replicable. But when we go into your lists, there's this thing that's called list automation. So what I've had people do, for example, is, I wanted people to, I said we have your mastering, ebook mastering performance, right? And if you remember, I have it automated here to unsubscribe them when they sign up for the webinar, right? Because we're using that book to just constantly hit them and crush them to sign up for the webinar. So those will be manually unsubscribed by us. Then they go to your webinar shared risk. Okay? And what I told that to do is, all right, that's our master webinar list. They all clicked on I want to join the webinar. That was 200 some odd people. Right? If we go back to even my lists, webinar shared risk, you'll see we actually, between those that subscribed and we unsubscribed, we had 113, just call it, 200 people already signed up for that webinar. Okay? So, and we know that 60 watched it the other day, and I'm sure you had a bunch of people that watched it yesterday at 9 a.m., right? You probably got a bunch of emails and coaching calls and stuff from that too. I didn't look. But we'll look today. So I have an automation that just says, all right, well, we want them to come here and get the, hey, thanks, welcome to the webinar. And I have Stealth now sending all the reminders and text messages and stuff. So if we actually go to this, I removed all those messages that I showed you before. We only have one message. That's it, This is what they get. So they sign up, they get a message that says thank you, for signing up. Keep your eye open for our webinar hosting company, right? Add John, share this. Hey, download this book if you haven't done it. Love you, John, right? That's it.
Yep.
So again, going back to this list automation, all I've simply done was remove a person from, because we don't want to keep, if we didn't remove them from lists, they would be on the webinar sign up. Then as soon as they attend, they're going to be on that list. And AWeber charges you for every list someone's on, but you're not going to want these people to get millions of emails and it's going to become overwhelming with where your subscribers are. And it also defeats the purpose because every list by definition would end up having 200 people on it, right? If they stayed to the end, right? If we didn't remove them, we'd have 200 that signed up. We would then have 200 that attended. We'd have 200 people that made it to the third call to action 10 minutes into it. We'd have 200 people that made it to number 7. We'd have 200 people that made it to the end, right? And so the list wouldn't even tell us anything. So for all these things, I simply said, all right, once I know they attend the webinar, remove them from our webinar master, right? So the only people that are going to be on your webinar master are people who have not yet attended.
Perfect.
So we can now put a follow-up there 2 weeks later or even a week later saying, or 2 weeks since people have up to 2 weeks saying, hey, by the way, I noticed you still haven't attended the webinar. And we could still hitting them because, A, they wanted to sign up for it. They still didn't attend. Then they're either going to attend or they're not going to. Hey, listen, you can re-register. I added more dates, We could keep hitting that because they'll never get them again once they attend, okay? And we would do that right in that last one where I showed you where I only had one message. So then they come to webinar attend. So again, if I just go back to my lists, so we had people that are on master webinar shared risk. We had 200 people, just call it round numbers. But we really, some of them might have unsubscribed, but highly unlikely because we didn't send them anything other than thanks for the webinar. So as soon as they attended, and it looks like we had about 94 that attended, they got removed from that, and they went to webinar shared attend. All right? And we did. There's 99 people right there, right?
Got it.
Right? Follow?
Yep.
And then I said as soon as they reach call to action 1, and then I listed them all. These are call to action 10 for the millionaire. So the first one, call to action 3, my list automation is just going to say, if I have to keep on showing, I think you got it already, but the list automation is going to say as soon as someone joins call to action 3, or actually you'll see that's the next one. So I have under my automation of if they attended it. All right, so webinar shared, let's go to attend. Webinar shared attend. I have an automation rule here that says unsubscribe them from this list as soon as they reach the next benchmark. Right? Follow? And I just keep doing that down the road till the end. So all of our lists, and if you ever have a question on what they are, just click on it. And I say right below what it is, but I'm like, it's in basic settings. But I said, hey, they made it to the RPM-free 30-day trial, which is 37 minutes and 50 seconds into the webinar. So let's look at just the shared risk stuff. So this means call to action 3 on the shared webinar means they made it 11 minutes and they got to your effective business development level. Okay? Now, the fact that we have 7 people on there means they left the webinar at this point.
Right.
Understand why? They made it to this point, but they didn't make because they would have been unsubscribed if they made it to the next one.
Right.
Right? Which is, I think, call to action 6 is the next one I used. Because I would have had them unsubscribed. So as soon as they make it to the next call to action, which you saw those ones I had in stealth, they're unsubscribed. So again, I'll pull it up again. All right, so and again, I'm not going to be able to hear it because that stupid thing's going to be playing. Not stupid. It's a great video. That's why I added it. But, right, these are the ones I decided. We don't need lists for everything, but they go here. As soon as they reach here, they're removed from this list. As soon as they hit CTA 6, that's why you're just going to see in there a 10, 3, 6, 8. I didn't list them as 1, 2, 3, but there isn't a 4, 5. I don't have them. And then if they made it to the end, we have that list. All right? So we just get off of that one. So If anyone is ever on a list, it means they didn't make it to the next one because we manually unsubscribed them. As an aside, AWeber put our account on temporary suspension and had a heart attack. They had no idea what we were doing, but they were really cool about it. They loved what we were doing, thought it was amazing, and we're good to go.
All right, so why would they put it on suspension now?
Why would they? Well, they gave us a suspension warning. We had to have it all resolved by January 9th or our account would be shut down because they thought we were spamming it. They didn't understand how their system notified them that we're getting hundreds of people that sign up, then instantly signed up for new lists and instantly unsubscribed. And they had no idea what the hell was going on.
Got it.
And I had to show them your site. I had to walk through where they're logging in. I had to show them your bio, and they were very cool about it. But they've never seen it, so I guess no one's really using the plugin for AWeber from Stealth. So the fact that there's 3 people on here, so yeah, let's go to the very first one, which is webinar shared attend. So we know that there was 95 people on there, right? And this means they attended the this is the millionaire one. So webinar shared attend is we had 42 subscribers. That means 42 people attended it and got off the friggin' thing before call to action 3, 10 minutes into it, right? Because they wouldn't be on here. No, that's ended. I'm sorry. That's ended. Finished. Sorry, that number didn't make sense. Webinar shared attend. Here, and I tell you what they are. All right, so 45 people didn't make it to 10 minutes into it. So we got to, hook them or find out what's going on. Or, again, this is a list we could automate and we could follow up on. I didn't do any of that stuff. That's on your to-do list. So, you're taking good notes here, but I tried to add everything that you still need to do or will want to do. But just so that you understand, or whoever watching this video recording understands, is because we automate them to move on, and you know that that's the first one in Stealth, well, they're automatically now removed from the webinar. So at least we know that in total, 99 people attended. 54 were removed because they went on to call to action 3, okay? Which is the very first one we have. So if we go to call to action 3, boom, you can see we had 89 people. But again, it's going to be more because I'm just looking at the people that they're going to have been on from the other ones too. I'm just giving you an idea of how the thing works, okay? So webinar attended, anyone, and this list is going to change based upon different webinars and when people are on or whatever it is. So these people attended, they didn't make it to the next one. Okay, bottom line, we unsubscribed these 54. Call to action 3. All right, these people made it 11 minutes into it. The unsubs are good. That means a lot of them made it on to, most of them, as you can see, made it on to the very next one, right? 76 of them. All right, so, but there are still 7 people here that missed everything. So you can put a follow-up action there in there. The only thing I did point out in my notes is, bear in mind, I do not have any follow-up messages in any of these things. If I show you like call to action 3, whatever it is, I didn't set up a message. If you do add one, any single person that gets to that list is going to get your first message. So it's going to have to be something like, hey, thanks, you've made it 10 minutes into it, keep your pen and paper ready, got a cool offer coming up soon, that kind of thing. But you're going to be hitting them with a whole bunch of emails. And then your second one we can do,
That's
sorry?
Email, right? The message.
Yeah, it'll be an email. And you can make a text so it doesn't look like it's anything crazy. But I'm just saying, if you want to follow up with this group, you can do it manually, or you'll have to you can add an email here, because the only people that are ever going to be on this list are going to be people that only made it to call to action 3 and did watch your webinar, never went further. So we can make it a day later. I mean, the fact is, the person will be unsubscribed within seconds or within minutes. Right? Call to action 3 was 11 minutes into it, and then the next one that we test is 17 minutes later.
Got it.
Right? So I'm just saying that you can do follow-up series to these people because they won't. But again, if we do a follow-up series, I'm saying all of these 89 people are going to get that first email. So the first email needs to be like a basic text thing saying, hey, open up now. This is a great book. Make sure that you downloaded that, Contact me if you miss it or something like that. Or, just basic, quick little things like that because they're going to get that. And then we'll make the second message an hour after it, a day after it, whatever it is. That just says, hey, sorry you logged off the webinar. Why don't you re-register or whatever it is, or do you have any questions or, help me out. Did we miss the mark? And then you want to get that stuff too because it could help us make them better, right? So, but don't worry, this is just advanced shit that your plugin gets to do. All right, then here's the next one. So we had, right, 81 people. Here you could see, again, they're not always going to be the same because it depends on people who came in late, you know, and a whole bunch of other things. But so 7 people made it to 28 minutes. If I click on this one, it's going to tell you that call to action 6 is they made it 20 minutes to the recruiting as a science offer. Okay? And that's as far as, unfortunately, 7 people, that's as far as they went. Because if they made it to the next one, which is call to action 8, they would have been unsubscribed, right? So the fact that they're subscribed, that's as far as they made it somewhere between here and here, right? Between this 6 and my next one, which was 8. Make sense? Because they'll automatically be unsubscribed when they come on this one. They get subscribed, they get onto this list, they get unsubscribed from that one, and it keeps moving onward. So this is just a way to see, all right, so they missed the free offer. So all these people missed your free coaching offer. Bear in mind, you still got a good high percentage of people that are on there. We already saw the stats on Stealth, but this gives you a lot more because this will be by user, right? And again, we could automate this for follow-up, which you'll want to, you'll want to do something like that.
Right. So
right.
People that didn't make the free coaching offer, we could say, hey, the free coaching offer was full, but if you'd like a free coaching call, sign up now, kind of thing.
Well, they don't even know what it is. Okay, I'm saying at this stage, yes, but you got the gist.
Yep.
These people here made it to free 1 hour, so that's good. But these 37, so these people at least made it there. Okay, so they at least saw it. Anyone that made it to the previous one or before, these people above that call to action 3 that's still on there and call to action 6 or whatever it was, didn't. Or this one right here. Are these people, the previous people didn't. So most did, but yeah, you could say, hey, listen, you missed a great offer on this. Although we filled up, here's one thing I'm willing to do. And you could automate that too, within the email. So it'll just go to those people. Again, that's what that $39 a month plugin will get you. So you do want to take advantage that you can, and we're unsubscribing them. So yes, they're going to be annoyed that they're on the webinar and they're getting 9 emails in a row from you, but you'll make them cute and funny and in text and simple. So it just, hey, at this point, FYI, and we'll know, and they're only going to get it exactly when they sign up, even if they come in 2 minutes later, whatever, they're going to get that pretty instantly. I mean, AWeber doesn't come, it'll be pretty darn instant. All right, so in any event, that's how this thing works, and then, so if we look at it, so the 1 hour coaching, the master ended, all right, you had 42 people out of those 200 that made it all the way to the end. Now, bear in mind, that's when the video ends, done. So that's not the easiest thing to have someone do. But these people, dude, are your friggin' A1 star, follow up with all of these puppies. You're going to want some... hey, thank you for watching the entire webinar. Know it was a lot of time. I'm glad you stayed. I saw that you watched the whole thing. Hey, any questions for me? You name it, right? We could put anything in there. I don't have any messages for these lists, right? Yeah. But these people all finished the whole webinar, those 42 people. And so out of 200 people, 42 made it all the way to the end. And again, people left at different times, and then you can add messages for it. We know that people who still, like I said, registered but didn't attend, because those, by definition, will be the only people that are still in the webinar shared risk list, which is this one. So we had 200 people that signed up, right? And then that was just signed up. And then we know that 94 people at least attended, right? Which looks about right. It looks like we had about 94 people attended so far. Right? With me?
I'm with you.
All right, and then, the other list I had as well, that's how you were getting when they sign up in the forms that I had built in there. I mean, you watch the webinar, so when they get 1 hour free coaching, this is the form. And you had 22 people who signed up for 1 hour of free coaching. And this is the email that they got.
Now, Neil, to go in there and take off the 1 hour and just put on writing free coaching call.
Well, we could, so for this people, we could say, instead of congratulations on your free 1 hour coaching, okay, we could say, hey, bad news and good news. Bad news is the first 10 people already submitted, and we are limited with time. However, I will, see if I can fit it into my schedule. I'd love to accommodate you. Let me get back to you. And then we could put in a follow-up message. Or, it could either be instant or we could put a follow-up message that shows up a couple hours later that just says, hey, great news, I'm able to do a half-hour call with you. Or we could just change it to, sorry, bad news, just so you to everyone. Good news and bad news. Bad news is you weren't one of the first 10. Great news is still that you're interested and you're doing this. I'd really love to work with you so I can give you a half-hour coaching call, which will be awesome anyway. You'll love it, and it's on the house. Let me know best way to reach us. So, yeah, we could change this in a heartbeat. But we have to change the offers online, and you got to listen to the webinar and see what needs to be changed or muted out.
Yeah, congratulations on your free coaching session. That's basically all. That's all we needed right there.
Well, you're going to redo the webinar?
No.
You offered, but I'm saying you offered an hour. I think we'd have to listen to it. You'll have to listen to it, and again, you could fast forward to them. Play with the test one and fast forward to it. But I mean, or go to your raw copy, whatever that you have, the original recording that's in Dropbox in WMV format and MP4 format. Live it up. Well, you got to see what you said. You can't just say an hour and then say, well, or you know what? Your point's good. You did offer a free one. We don't have to offer it to anyone. It's a little misleading, but so is a self-seminar. So we don't actually have to change anything. Is your point, I guess, right? Why? We don't have to change it. You did offer them a free hour. No one got it, but they did get a half hour.
Yeah.
So you're right. All we do have to do is all you have to do is change this. And you can say, sorry, you weren't one of the top 10, but here's what I will give you.
Yeah. So when they sign up, what do they get back once they sign up? So
here's the one thing. I'm not a fan myself of rusing and lying on it, right? But and the fact is, you were giving them a free hour no matter what. So yeah, we're saying first 10. That's a little white lie. They're going to get it. The fact that you said an hour, it's a half hour, is still pretty good. But ultimately, I think you want to learn of what's working, what's not working on this, tweak it, redo it, and then change the words or re-edit it and mute it out. But I'm with you. Don't spend time doing that now. This is what they get. They get this email when they fill out that form. That comes instantly.
Perfect. And it's not saying anything about an hour, but what I can get back with them and send, let's see, a free coaching site. I love it. So I
could change this in 2 seconds. Right. Well, because you got and did people reply to this one too? Like I said, hey, look, I said let's get started. Simply reply to this email. Let me know what best time to reach it. Didn't you get any people with this HTML email that replied back to you?
All 14 of them did.
Right. So we could change this to be whatever.
Back to them.
Yeah.
So you reply back to them and say,
but why rely on the people that sign up for it? They're interested, or it goes into spam, right?
Yeah.
Or they had email trouble, or they're too busy and they forget about it. So that's why you just want to get good yourself at playing. This is very intuitive, like I said. Your home page has got all your basic stats on it. You could play with it. Your list, as you saw, I keep hitting. Your buttons up top. I got my list that shows you all your lists. You can go into them individually depending what you like. I mean, you can play with your manage subscribers or whatever it is. All your lists are up here. But here's your 1 hour coaching. So if I click on search, these are all people that signed up for your 1 hour coaching. Let's look at 50 at a time. All right. So these people I don't know who reached you or not, but this is the list I exported for you, by the way. Which, obviously I'm not going to do that on a regular basis when you get it. You don't need to anyway. It's all here is my point. I just went into subscribers, manage subscribers. I want to pick the list I want to look at. Right now it's not searching or anything because I'm just saying search field is blank. There you go. Okay. So here are your 25 people that signed up for it. So you want to make sure that and look, some of these people, confirmation pending. This happens sometimes if their email is too short, okay? Or if they had a bunch of people at their IP that have signed up for things. They have different robots in there. So these people never even got your email, Okay? So you want to reach out to Aishisha, you want to reach out to Ash, you want to reach out to Candace, and look, let them know, hey, sorry, you didn't, but here's the good news. So this is a big one for you. This is your money list, right? This and the people that finished the full webinar, but these people actually took action that says, call me, I want to spend an hour with you. Same deal with the people that sign up on the RPM thing.
Go to the top again. What is the list called?
This one is 1 hour coaching.
Okay,
and if you ever want to know what's in it, just look at the messages. All right, this is a congratulations. Or again, you can go to your list and I tell you what everything is. Like what the hell is this again? 1 hour coaching. Let me click on this list. Oh yeah, it's 1 hour free coaching opt-in. Okay.
And I got to change it to free coaching session. Never say 1 hour again, because that's way too long, obviously.
And again, we can just change that and add that to your to-do list of things you want to do. And like I said, get the freelancer, say fuck it, like I said, we could do this thing together if you want to. It's very interesting. But as we continue, so this list is really big, but you want to reach all these people, and this is one you're going to want to look at anytime you get a notification. This person. So make sure you don't just wait on them to reply to you. Like, you're going to want to look at these people and file them or whatever the case is. Right? So we're going to say that, here's the deal. They want the coaching. Here's the problem. And there's a way around it, but it requires a bunch of coding thing and the other master lists. And there is a workaround with Stealth Seminar. But as I move people from list to list, like phone number and stuff like that, like we asked for 1 hour coaching. Wait a second. There was a required. Did I not make it a required field? Uh-oh. Let me just look at the sign-up form. This is the one that shows up. 1 hour. These are your sign-up form. This is the Stealth call to action one. All right. So 93 people saw it. Right. That's another good stat that you have, by the way, with using forms. So this showed up. 17 people clicked on it. You want their phone number in here too, right? You want me to collect phone number? I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to...
Free coaching session. Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the problem with this. No, I don't want straight. My browser on here doesn't work to it, so I'm going to cancel out of here. But we'll add that to your to-do list. Because, again, it's either, your person watching this will be able to do all this stuff. Hang on, I'm slow here. Open recent. Bar test marketing to do. I should have had that open to go. Change all copy to free coaching call, not 1 hour. On CTA, on congrats, but only 30 minutes since you applied. Add phone to a Weber form as required field. Change form to free coaching, not 1 hour. I said bold and underlines are mine, which I'm done with that. All right. So anyway, that's the form that shows up on that webinar when they show up. So these are all the people that did it, and in the future you'll get their phone number. And now you can email them or you can look them up on LinkedIn. But so that's your money call. Just like free 30 RPMs could be your gold list too. And there's no one there now because no one's listened to the webinar yet, right? So, but all right. So that is how you can see all the subscribers. And again, another good list. Well, we want to manage subscribers. Let's look at all those people who finished. So webinar shared ended. I mean, this is still a pretty friggin' good list. Okay. These are going to be the 40 some odd. Yeah, go ahead.
Neil, in the Millionaire Recruiter, do I have on there a sign up where to sign up for the best firms in outsourcing for recruiting and staffing firms? Sign up here. Do I have anything? I got to have a call to action there on that.
No, and that's what I asked you in one of the texts or whatever it is. You did have a email me if you want to learn more or whatever, but you can go through it and fast forward and play. Well, all right, so these are your 44 people, and so I say just play with this. They do have a ton of reports on it, okay? And just play with them. There's a gazillion reports. All right, this will be by, so let's look at, this will be by webinar. Let's see who's even signing up for us. So webinar shared risk. This is your main webinar one. All right, so we could do it by broadcast. Here are people that have clicked on things over time. Right, this is just based on the clicks. Here's the weekly new subscribers to show you how we're doing on your marketing. It's got all sorts of stuff. Here are the countries. Here's where I'm getting the states. Here's what's happening with, these would be some broadcasts that I sent out there. But again, we'll just look at lists, reports, weekly subscriber growth. That's taking a while to load on my end here. So play with these. Just again, you have enough, with the people right now just to follow up on those and to create some automated follow-ups with those plugins of people who disappeared. Normally, I'm just done with it. But here's your subscriber growth by week, right? And you could see, here's another thing that's opens over time, which is some really cool things that you'll want like a salesperson to do. This shows you all the opens, right? Which is on all of our emails that we're sending. Broadcasts. This is follow-up messages. You name it, right? The broadcasts have been hey, check out this, whatever we got. But if you can click on the detail, by person, and look, you can see exactly who clicked on what, when. So you can find people that clicked on your, for example, what you can do with this is see people who clicked on your 1 hour coaching but didn't take you up on it, and you can follow up with them manually. So you have all sorts of leads.
Nice.
Right? So these are opens over time. And this can also be, these people, this is a case of just people who open your email to them for free coaching. Now, Kathy keeps, she kept looking at it, but you could see if they even opened it. Right? All right, so that's pretty much what we have there. The only other things, I told you on johnbartos.com, I added your webinar to it. Right, we fixed up your page and stuff, so I think we're good with that.
And then we can add as many as we want to, right? Same format. Let's say we do from managing to coaching, from whatever, and then so all our webinars will just keep piling up here. They're registered. They keep playing every single week. Once it's all set up, how much maintenance is there really to do besides following up on leads that are coming?
Nothing really, and you just tweak it to get better results. Like you might want to say, "Geez, I'm losing a lot of people between here and there. When are they really going away? Let's add another list in between these two calls to action, so I can see who's at least staying on for that. And let me see why it's so fucking boring, or let me see if it's too much of a commercial or whatever it is. People log off. They just decide it's not for them, or they're busy, or they apologize, or we'll send them a thing, let me know, and then we'll let them know. Look, you can re-register. So again, you could send them links and stuff. This is the email company that I sent you the stuff for. So you just play with this. It's great and it's shitty. It's dirt fucking cheap. All right, I've been sending some stuff. I tested some for mine just because we want to get out all the bounces and update, the real master lists that will ultimately import into Aweber and stuff like that. But it's great, and it's $150 a month for 1 million sends. But a lot of these things go into spam. But that said, that's where we drove a lot of your things into. So I sent people to LinkedIn groups. I told them basically, and you'll just have to play with this thing, but, I just basically told them to join these LinkedIn groups, which are my 2 groups and your 2 groups. And I made it look like it came from LinkedIn. I actually created a fake email account on one of my domains called The Best LinkedIn Training, so it comes from LinkedIn groups at thebestlinkedintraining.com. But here's where I basically sent out, all of these things. So I sent out to 80,000 people, sign up for your book. Right? And I copied that code exactly from Aweber. I sent out webinar shared risk. right? Boom. And this is why you have those couple hundred people that did sign up through here that never got your other book. That's why this list is, the main list, if you remember, was 730 and your ebook was only 500, right? So people came through here. And so, you know, you can see your stats on the stats. You have a really shitty list, but it's good because it's fine. At this price, I'm going to end up buying one for myself. It's ridiculous, and you can see all sorts of statistics and stuff on the email campaign. So webinar shared risk, yeah, I mean, it went out to 72,000 people. The 10,000 of those bounced. And again, well, they'll eventually come off it here themselves, but it will show you 1,700 people opened it. You know what I mean? It's still freaking, you know, you need a massive list at a 20-30% open rate to get that. So it's still great. You're still getting 1,700 people found out about this webinar, and out of that, it looks like we got about 200 people that signed up for it. You can actually set up separate landing pages for your webinar. They'll track actually who came from here if you want to get really complicated and stuff. But at this point, I wouldn't sweat it, other than we're just going to keep spamming this list. And you're going to have to keep doing that, you know, on here. And so I'll show you how you, so you'll just play on Crux, okay? And your to-do list here, you know, did you have a chance to go through it or no?
No, I didn't. It snowed.
All right, so go through this stuff, okay? So I finished that up with the calls to action, and we're good. Here's the change the copy, put pop-ups on. I mean, ask me if you have any questions or write your notes into it and just save it into Dropbox. All right, I'm telling you to, you know, any meeting, you can record it on here. Here's how you embed video, the points that I told you before. Here's what you need to change. Your thank you page looks good. It's going here, but here's how we can add a video to it. Market the hell using, you know, whatever, to LinkedIn. Oh, I'm telling you to check out your LinkedIn groups. I just want to show you how to do that here quickly, fast on the video. All right, so this is just all of your things, of a lot of which we've talked about here and a lot that we haven't, that you'll want to do. This is adding all the copy to those calls to action to take advantage of it, etc. Okay? So this is in Dropbox, and I'll get notified if you add stuff, whatever. You can make a bunch of comments on it or whatever. Or, Neil, I want you to do this. I want someone else to do that. Or, you know what, Neil, well, I don't care. You decide what you want to do with it. It's just your full list of what you're going to do. On LinkedIn, all right, so I logged you in here already. You're going to want to start driving these people to these groups. All right, and just from and because I have this on you, so here. So you got 13 people. Oh, this is mine. All right, so look, I just cleared this morning. I've got like 6,000 people on here because it's already on autopilot, because anytime anyone joins a group, their peers get notified that they did. They'll want to check it out. I don't do like anything for this. And, you know, if you look into my group, I started it with the same way you're starting yours. You're going to have thousands and thousands of people on it. If I look at my group, where here, you can actually look at group statistics. You don't even need to go into it. I've got 6,200 members, right? Just on that one. This one I just started when I left ARG. I got 2,700 members on it. And they all get an automated message. You know, I'll show you yours. But so for me, I just go in here regularly. Manually, you want to do it because if you do it manually, you're allowed to send out templates and welcome messages, which I'll show you on this video, and then we'll be done. So I'm just going to bulk approve these people. I don't really care if they don't fit the bill because they'll show up on my moderation list. I require everyone, like I do on yours, and if they first join and they post, I want to make sure it's not spam, and I can block them. So let me log into your account. And I'll show you your groups, and I'll show you what they're getting and why you want to drive people to the groups like I did in that video, like I did in that email message, and like I have in your webinars. I have them in here. All right, so just logging in for you.
Ooh, your email address just came back, though.
No, it'll log you in. There you are. All right, so you go to interest in groups, same way you would always access them. So let's see what you got. You got a couple, at least, not a ton. I'm not expecting. All right, so you got 9 requests to join. Okay. So here again, if you got really good leads here, you don't know the name. These are great people for you to ask to get connected to. These are great people for you to, you know, personally email or whatever it is until this starts getting big. Okay. So they either got that spam email I sent, or they watched your webinar and they clicked on it, or they did a keyword search. So I'm going to go ahead and just approve these people right now. Okay? What's happening, and you can learn how to play with this, but LinkedIn shows you all how to do it. It's pretty self-explanatory. You go into manage groups, which you're already in when you approve them anyway. I made the group look really pretty, by the way. You know, if you look at your group, I added nice head pictures. I added your logos on it. I added good keywords so they show up and stuff like that there. So, again, if we go back into your groups, we go back into Global Performance Coaching. We go back into Manage.
Links to articles, all that.
Yeah, but you know what? You can, but you don't have enough followers on it, and I didn't do really any of that in the beginning. People just start adding and they'll ignore it, and most people don't take advantage of their 50 groups. The biggest thing you want to get is ultimately, like I have 7,000 people that I send an update to regularly when I have something going on that are on LinkedIn, that are in, you know, in my niche or whatever it is, and it's become a really good group, as will this, as will your sourcing one. I created these templates for you, and it's under templates under manage your group, and I just created one. And that's why instead of making it an open group, I made them so I created this welcome message. So if as soon as right now, those 10 people that we just accepted are going to say, thanks for joining. Free ebook. First off, if you're not download this Maximum Recruiting, please do so right now, and over 100 pages of content. So we're going to try to capture people that are now going to come to your LinkedIn group and that you're marketing all over the place, and that'll take on a life of its own to your book. Also, we got a great webinar, Recruiting Millionaires, which you can find out more here. And we have another great group, Overnight Sourcing, that I want you to join. Also, make sure to join us on Thursday or Friday. Might as well change this now. For a free webinar on the top 10 secrets of maximizing performance. No, we changed that one to maximizing. Oh, you're going to have to change the name here to
Millionaire Recruiter, right?
No, this is the first one to.
Changing the paradigm.
Yeah, can you? I mean, you know what? You do this. Add this to your list of things to do because I want you to learn how to do it anyway. But unfortunately, so I'm going to just you're going to want to have them linked in with you. You're going to want to refer them to something else. I put in a good one just to get them to join, but change it so it's the right one. It's the right date. So that link is going to the first one. Okay. Free webinar millionaire they already have up here, and right. So there are two different ones. So you're going to have ads for both of your webinars if you want just one. Connect with me. Let me know if I can help you. Check out RPM, whatever. So they're all going to get that email from you. And you're allowed to send an announcement to your group, which let's not worry about it with 9 people. But, you know, let's go back to mine. I mean, we don't need to, but you could see the power of me. When I send out an announcement, it's going to go out to 7,000 people.
Huge. That
are on my LinkedIn group, right? You know, that are very active on LinkedIn. Okay? So, any other questions before I end the recording? Do you think everyone needs to say?
Good.
All right, so I'm going to end the recording now. Record. I'm going to stop the recording.